I'm assuming you really like crispy onion rings because you clicked on this video. This isn't clickbait, folks. I'm making crispy onion rings, Panko breaded onion rings here. They're amazing, they're delicious, they're relatively easy once you learn a few things about this, and I'll even teach you how to make pancakes. What more can you ask for? It's a full video here. If you are looking for beer battered onion rings, this isn't that video. That is that video because I already did those. I make crazy good beer battered onion rings. They differ from this wildly in that only a little bit. We'll go over that in half a second, but if you want to see that video, again, the link was back there a second ago. Go back and find that, or it's probably in the description down below because that's where they go. For some reason, this is the breaded onion rings. What I'm trying to do is actually replicate the Carl's Jr. onion rings. They have a burger called the Western Bacon Cheeseburger. It has onion rings on it. They're onion rings. They have, well, I say the best onion rings in fast food. I don't know if that's a fair statement. I haven't had that many. They're a hell of a lot better than Burger King's, which, by the way, don't actually have onion in them. They have onion-like flavoring in them. Not a joke. Look it up. If you've ever bitten into a Burger King onion ring, you'll realize there isn't an onion in there at all. There's like a paste thing that's onion flavored. Not making that up, folks. Seriously. These do have real onions. I'm using a sweet onion for this. We'll get into that in a minute too, but first we've got to make a batter. But I thought you said you were making crispy onion rings, and there was the link to the video for the battered onion rings. Yes, now here's where the two differ. They don't really differ. It's a little weird, but you make basically the same thing. So we have to make a batter, and then we roll that batter in breadcrumbs, and then it gets fried. It's pretty simple. If you master this, you can master the other style of onion rings, and it's pretty easy to go back and forth between the two, except the batters are slightly different because there's no beer in this, there's milk in it. That is the milk right there. That is not white beer. It is not. I tested it. It's not. Thank goodness, because, you know, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Why am I making onion rings at 9 o'clock in the morning? Because I love you people, and that's the way it goes around here. So, what do we need to make our batter? I'm rambling again. Sorry. Since that guy wasn't going to shut up, let me just fast forward a little bit. I got a cup and a half of all-purpose flour. I got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. There's 2 teaspoons of paprika going in this. I got a teaspoon of granulated garlic about to go in here. There you go. We got a teaspoon of salt going in. Half a teaspoon of pepper. This is white pepper. You can always use black pepper. Mix your dry ingredients really well to get them all blended together. Now we're going to add 1 large egg to a cup and a half of whole milk. That's going in here. You may need to thin out this mix a little bit. If you do, just add a little bit more milk, but that's it. That's how you make the batter. You can see that? It's a nice runny thing here. That's about right. I'm going to let this sit for about 5 minutes, something like that, and it's going to think about what it's going to do, and then we're going to dip some onion rings and get them all breaded and fried up. Hold on. All right, it is time to start making our onion rings, get these in the deep fryer, and get this video finished because it's already been too long, because I know I talk too much. The batter part was supposed to be like a minute and a half. What was it, 6 minutes? I don't know. Beats heck out of me, editor guy, please get it down to a minute and a half. Maybe not. I'm the editor guy, it's funny. All right, so we have our onions, the sweet onions. These are cut to about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch thick, something like that. They are just separated into rings, and these are dusted in AP flour. No seasoning, no flavor, no salt, nothing at this point. We are just trying to get something for our batter to stick to. Wet onions will not work, so you have to get them dry. A sweet onion has more moisture in it than a regular onion, generally. But onions are pretty juicy things, you know, the onion juice. Everybody, you know, made a big old glass of onion juice. Oh man, who doesn't love that in the morning? All right, so these are lovely. I'm not making a giant batch at the moment. This will make a couple of onions. So if you want to make a lot of onion rings, you have the recipe for this right here. I'm making a small batch, so a lot of this will go to waste. You're welcome. All right, so we're just going to drop these into our batter here. We're going to start getting these coated Once these are coated, they're going to go in here, then they go in there, then they go in the fryer. There, fast forward. It's important to get these completely coated on all sides and let them kind of drip a little bit, move the fork around. You don't want to have a ton of batter on this. It's kind of important. Okay, in there it goes. I have a separate fork for this because I have more than one fork. Look at me bragging, huh? See, this is perfect because this one can be dripping while I'm working on that one. That's efficiency. Okay, next one's going down. I got this guy. This one's gonna drip while I do this one. Okay, that is all of our onion rings done up. I can't believe I actually made a dozen. Okay, well there you go. I didn't even plan that. Woohoo, that's fantastic. I really should have made 13 because then I could have one to taste. Well, am I kidding? They're all mine. I don't need one to taste. I'll just take that one. I'm going to throw these in the deep fryer now. We got a deep fryer set for about 360, 365, something like that. It don't need to be 375. Should definitely not be below 350. If you're not using a deep fryer with a magic dial on it, then you need to be using a thermometer in your big pot of oil. Can you do these shallow fry? Yes, but you need at least an inch of oil. So you need a pan with a really tall lip on it because these will bubble like crazy and you don't want to catch your house on fire. So never fill any pan with oil in it. You plan on deep frying more than halfway, especially for shallow frying. You really want to go up about a third of the way for safety. Do you know how to put out a grease fire? Before you ever deep fry something, you better learn how to put out a grease fire. Here's the link. Who am I kidding? Figure that out on your own. So that's your problem. All right, let's deep fry some stuff. Deep frying these is pretty easy. It's kind of like making little onion donuts. I like using a bamboo skewer or a chopstick for this, something like that. Just drop them in there a few at a time. Don't overload it. You're going to flip these back and forth until they're nice and golden, crispy, and delicious. It does not take very long. You're looking at maybe a minute or so for each batch. And when they look like that, they're done. You just keep going until they're all finished. All right. Because this video is part of another video, I'm doing the Carl's Jr. Western Bacon Cheeseburger, more specifically, the Double Western Bacon Cheeseburger. You'll have to tune in for that video. It might come out before this one. It might come out after this one. I'm not entirely sure. That's up to the editor guy. Again, I'm the editor guy. But that's future me. Current me has no idea. Well, I have the smallest onion ring here because we're going to taste this thing. I actually have some Carl's Jr. barbecue sauce. Yes, do you want to see how to make the barbecue sauce? I have the biggest secret in the world. That is so easy. You are going to lose your mind. You're going to have to come back for that video, though. Unless you already saw it, which, congratulations, you know the secret. Yes, I got my used car salesman voice on. Sorry. I get so excited. Onion rings and barbecue sauce. Come on, let's give this a taste and find out how we did. Well, I know how we did, but you don't know, so come on. Oh. First of all, Carl's Jr., if you're watching, use sweet onions. They're way better. Oh, the bite through on that is perfect. The crispy on that is perfect. The flavor on that is absolutely perfect. One crispy onion ring. Oh, I'm going to keep eating this. I'm sorry. My wife finds out I have a batch of these, I'm in big trouble. I better sign off real quick before the tornado of the old cartoons, Tasmanian Devil with the tornado thing. Yeah, that's about what we're going to have in here in about 3 seconds. So I'm going to say thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more like this, come back and see me next time. Check out more stuff on the channel. I got a ton of things I'm doing. And I always like to have new people here, so if you're new, welcome. Hit the subscribe thing down there. It doesn't cost nothing. Go for it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Till then, have a good one.